The benefits of apprenticeships in school sports staffing. So the aim of tonight is essentially to highlight the development of future talent, how finding ways and sharing the ways in which I've found to reduce costs and to strengthen your sports and staffing program. Many schools rely on gap students or external hires, but apprenticeships that I've found offer a longer term investment in staffing. So obviously gap students historically will be with you for that 1 year. The apprenticeships that I've been running at my school have been over 2 years, and some of those have even gone on to stay for a little bit longer. The benefits that I've found are the apprentices are more engaged. They join you with that will and that desire to work in sport and to work in education. So it's been a real benefit to have motivated staff coming at you straight away. The benefit is obviously you've got young, eager, want to be professionals, and they are also, as it's an apprenticeship, open to learning the ways of your school and the ways of your department, so you can mentor them into the member of staff that you desire. The more human element, and why we all joined education in the first place, is we wanted to give back and we wanted to share our knowledge with children. We wanted to see them develop. And this is an extra layer where you can give back to college students or young adults, and you can give back to the profession as well. So I see that as being a very positive side of something that we've developed over the last few years. Apprenticeship's a paid job with training. So these young people are joining us. They are earning whilst they're learning, I suppose, is a good way of putting it. It leads to qualifications that they can then go on to use in future life. The apprenticeships that we've been running at our school are 24 months, but they're roughly anywhere between 12 to 24 months, depending on the level of apprenticeship, which I'll go into later because there are various apprenticeships available. It's a good way of combining the on-the-job experience with training delivered both internally and externally. Now, I've been working with Lions recently with my school, and they offer a level of mentorship as well, alongside the college access sports, and also ourselves giving the on-the-job training, which is it's really good because it means we're getting lots of different avenues of wealth of experience that are going into the apprentice. Okay. Bonus side of things, they actually are not costing any more than a gap student generally would, because schools of our ilk, they pay into the tax levy, because generally the schools funding levels are such that they have enough members of staff to have to pay into the tax levy. So we draw down on that, or the college draws down on that for the funding of the training. So moving on to the financial benefits for schools of having an apprentice. If you are a large school and you have enough members of staff, then you'll get 100% of the training costs covered. So essentially, the apprentice that you take on, you hire them, you pay for them as a member of staff, as you would very much if you were to stay with a gap student model. You would employ them as a member of your department, as your school. They would be underneath the school's policies. And all employment laws that you would normally have with your current staff, with the added bonus of the government is paying for the training and the funding. So, for instance, we're currently using Access Sports from the Access training industry, which you can see in the bottom corner of the screen there. We use those to deliver the level 4 apprenticeship, and their funding and all the cost of that training comes from money that essentially we've already paid because we've paid the government tax levy. So we're drawing down on that. Therefore, my member of staff costs me just as much as the member of staff did before we had apprenticeships, but essentially I've got someone who's far more engaged and motivated to work hard and to learn whilst they're working on the job. This salary, we follow a very similar model to a gap student, so no more, no less, but that is set by the school. So if your budget is quite generous, or you wanted to go for a higher level apprenticeship, then you can essentially pay more, like a teaching assistant model, or if you would like the gap student replacement for your apprentice, then you can pay on a gap student model. The benefits or the differences between a level 4 sports apprentice and a gap student. So much better value for money in my eyes, in that You're, like I said, getting someone who's very interested. They come to you wanting to work in the sports industry, wanting to work in education, or one or the other. So highly motivated, obviously career focused. Whereas obviously gap students often are at a bit of a loss. They're not sure they want to go into education. You've already had someone who's made that decision. The duration of the apprenticeship it's a 16-month course. We build in 2-year contract. So we run it over the 2 school years, which is obviously brilliant because generally a gap student will be there for 1 year, sometimes 2 terms, and then leave for the summer term. Whereas 2-year contract, you're guaranteed to get that member of staff in, and also the investment that you put in is therefore more, in that when you're onboarding and you're learning the processes, you know full well that you're making that investment for a longer period of time. And obviously the benefits are they're going to be far more qualified by the end of it, and you can then choose to keep them if there is a gap available. If there's something in there, they can go on to become school assistants. They can go into further degrees, further diplomas. They can go on to training, which is something that some of the apprentices that I've had have gone on to do, which I'll share a little bit about there. So obviously saving time massively in your training and your onboarding, because you only have to do it once every 2 years. Or alternatively, a way in which I've structured this in is I dovetail. So I'll take 1 a year, and obviously I've always got 2 apprentices on the go, but I've got a fresh one and a new one, which means that they've got that almost peer level of mentorship as well as coming down from above, which is brilliant. I suppose what the main benefit at the bottom of our list there, you're not on your own. So when you've got a gap student, whatever you want to put into them, whatever training you want to do with your internal policies, your internal way of running things, is just the training they get. Currently, I've found, and which is why I've partnered with Lions and with Access Industry, is that we have a system now where we have Access who give their online mentorship, and they have the structured learning of the actual apprenticeship, the paperwork side of things, and the college work. We've got my mentorship as a head of department, and that of my department, where we obviously develop the ways in which we teach and develop. But we also have the added bonus of we have Lions come in, and they spend a day every term with my apprentice, shadowing, giving tips, giving pointers, and just essentially being the big brother with their arm around that apprentice. So it gives them that extra level of support, someone to turn to, and lots of opportunities for outside CPD as well, which is added bonus from the path that we've gone down, which is why I'm trying to share this really with you. So long-term impacts. The apprenticeships, they have the potential to build your future workforce. Obviously, like I said at the very beginning, the sense of pride that you get of seeing these essentially boys or girls coming along, 18, 19, 20 years old, they know they want to work in the world, but they don't necessarily fit into a world of academia. They want to work in education, they want to work in sports, that they've then gone on and you've mentored them towards becoming PE teachers or TAs, or we've had one of our young men went on to be he's working in sports rehab now. So it's not limited to education, but it is within that sporting realm. And so see those as successes all the way through. It's really good. Obviously, having that bank of extra staff, with the way that the national governing bodies are changing rules, you would have 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds playing 15-a-side rugby, and the pain of coaching all that. Obviously, the right things that the RFU have done to reduce the load of the skills and things that we teach, and reduce the numbers on the pitch. So we've now got 6-a-side, 7-a-side. The logistics behind it, as directors of sport, brilliant. Everyone knows why it's being done, but the fact that you then need another 3 members of staff, this is one of the solutions. And this is it's essentially why I went down this route of apprenticeships, was how do we get an extra 2-3 members of staff for the price of one? We're building community links. We can go out and we talk to the local sixth forms and say, do you have boys, or do you have youngsters, boys, girls, who are keen to get into this world. If I just give you a little anecdotal piece of, like I've kind of alluded to, I've had about 8 apprentices that have gone through. The first is now he's gone through the whole system, and he came back to us as a fully qualified teacher, PE teacher, studied at Cheltenham. I've had one that's gone off to university and now a fully qualified sports rehabber. Obviously mentioned a big part, young chap who's actually with us training to be a teacher as we speak, in our setting. So they've all gone different directions, but they're all fully qualified, and they've used that qualification for the benefits. I have got another who has gone off and become a housemaster. So he's currently working as a non-qualified teacher, as a housemaster in an international school, and got 2 at university currently studying PE teaching, and then I've got one lad who's about to leave us, and he will hopefully be going off to university as well. That's definitely a direction that he's signing and saying that he would like to do. So yeah, it really is beneficial to keep them driven, and give them that platform. I think that we've given them that platform where they can go on and choose to stay or work in sport. They joined us wanting to work in the sporting world, and hopefully through working with us, in fact, all of them have ended up staying or starting to work, or staying in education or sport. But I think it's that platform that the apprenticeships has given them, which has really helped them go on and bounce on. They've obviously got that resilience of the working world as well. How to implement your apprenticeship program. So obviously, if you're interested from what we've said today, then identify your needs. Do you need an apprentice? What do you currently have? Are you not happy with your gap students, or is this something that you want to, with the new rules coming in? Do you want to build an apprenticeship? You don't have to get rid of gappies if you don't have them, but apprenticeships, like we didn't have gap students where I currently am, we brought the apprenticeships in to meet the needs of the national governing bodies. You can always obviously contact Lions or Access Industry. Will be more than happy to help you. But essentially, you need to identify your needs. We can help you, or I can help you with job roles, job descriptions, and then it's a matter of the contacting the government. I think it's called the DAS, where you as you're a levy-paying school, you would take in get the code, get the alignment, and then essentially the ball starts rolling there. But I would recommend, as we did, contacting Andy Jones or at Lions. They can point you in the right directions of all the information of where to get that DAS and do your things, and then applying for the funding. And then it's a matter of advertising and interviewing, as you would do for any role. If you're not sure you're a levy paying school, I would check with your bursar or your head. They will know. They will definitely know. And then explore those funding options. Speak to existing apprenticeship providers. Feel free to email me. I'm happy anytime, really. I might take a day or 2 to reply, but I'm always happy to be asked questions and point you in the right directions. And then good luck, I suppose. But yeah, lionsports.academy if you wanted to go to the Lions website, and that can point you in the right direction, or just hit a message up here, and I'll take a note and be more than happy to chase that up with you. And good luck, hopefully, in your world. Your apprenticeships go well. Take care and good evening.